What's up guys? Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2022 Cult Devotion. Yes, the 2022 Cult bikes are finally out, and I'm very excited because, God, Cult has been out of stock for it feels like 2 years, right? I feel like it's only been a year, which is still a really long time, but they've been out of stock forever. So they're finally back in stock with some new colors. Aside from the new colors, everything is about the same. Now, the Devotion only went up in price $20. I'm going to talk about the price later. I'm going to talk about how good it is in street park dirt, who it's for, if it's even a good price for the quality you get. I'm going to go really in depth on this bike. So let's get right into the review. All right, so the 2022 Devotion comes in a Panza white, a Cavalry blue, and a black. Three color options that are pretty unique. I mean, the black is pretty boring, but the other options are unique. And the price only went up $20. Like I said, this is a $569 bike, maybe $30. $30. It went up $30. It was $539 last year, so only went up $30. If you look at Kink's line, the whip went up $50, the switch went up $100, the Williams went up like $150, the Cloud, they all went up by significant amounts of money. Even the 2021 We the People bikes went up from the first batch that came to the US to the second batch that came to the US. So the fact that Cult bikes only went up this amount is very impressive to me, and kudos to them, because I think this is all speculation, but I think they're taking more of a hit on the cost of the bikes than they did last year, and they're not making you pay for that. Like, I think they're kind of meeting in the middle with it, and they pay some of it and charge a little bit extra for the bike so that it's not a huge jump in price. This is really admirable, and I'm glad it only went up $30. We were speculating on some of the lives that the 2022 Devotion would be closer to the $600 range, or right around $600, but you know, I'm impressed that it's only $569. That's awesome. Now, I do also really like these three colors. I think they're pretty unique. The white is Panza's signature color. The blue is a really cool Cavalry blue. And the black, like I said, boring black, okay? Anyway, let's talk about the quality of the Devotion, because that is what's really exciting to me. This is a full chromoly bike. Full chromoly frame, full chromoly forks, and full chromoly bars. This is good because if you get high tensile steel, it's gonna bend and it's gonna break. Because of this higher quality chromoly, the Cult Devotion is classified as a mid-level bike, meaning it can withstand mid-level tricks. The rims are also double wall. This is gonna be twice as good as single wall. They're gonna hold up as you start to do big drops and big gaps and spins. Again, this is adding to that mid-level quality title that the Cult Devotion gets. It does also come with two pegs. Now, it doesn't come with any hub guards, it just comes with two pegs, which is pretty cool because some companies don't even include pegs with their bikes. Sunday. You know, anyway, they don't include pegs on the X, and that's kind of, that bugs me. But anyway, we're talking about Cult, not Sunday, so we're gonna carry on with that. No pegs, and the weight is hard to find. Cult, this is my bone to pick with Cult. Anyway, I'm gonna say the weight is, in 2021, it was about 26.8 pounds. So I don't know what they are this year. I'm gonna assume they're pretty close to the same. But Cult is kind of misleading with the information that they provide. For example, if you look at the Cult control, I get in an argument with this all the time. If you look at the Cult control on Cult's website, it just says Cult Match rims. The Cult Devotion also has Cult Match rims, and the Cult Match rims are Cult's double wall aftermarket rims. However, there's Cult Match rims on all the Cult bikes, and they don't distinguish that the ones on like the Gateway are single wall and the ones on the Devotion are double wall. So they just put Cult Match. Like, it's kind of misleading and it drives me crazy. And then again, like I said, the information's not out there right away. They don't include the weights of the bikes. This year, they didn't even include the standover height of the bike. So if I ever get my hands on one, I'll measure it and I'll weigh it just so I can put that on there. If you Google Cult Devotion weight, my website's the one that comes up because I think I found it scouring the internet and then threw it on the website so that it could come up. But anyway, that's what drives me crazy about Cult, but I'm still very excited about the Devotion. It's a really good quality bike. We're gonna see how well it scores in the quality section of the Dougsterbob score, but for now, let's move over and talk about the geometry. Now, the geometry of the Devotion is very interesting to me because the top tube is a 21-inch top tube. I ride 21-inch top tubes, I'm very tall. Make sure, Google Dougsterbob size guide to make sure that this is the right size for you, because if you get the wrong size top tube, it's gonna make riding really hard. So just double check that and make sure this is the right size for you. But the interesting part is the chainstay. So the chainstay is gonna be 13.65 inches, where most chainstays are around 13.2. So this is even longer. And when you get a longer chainstay, it's gonna make it harder to pull up. It's gonna make the bike very stable feeling. It's not gonna be very responsive, and it's not gonna be very easy to maneuver around. Now, this long chainstay does have benefits, like it's good for people who like to go high and fast, like Chris Fox or Gary Young or Chase Hawk. Like that type of riding with a longer chainstay is gonna feel really mellow, it's gonna feel really flowy. If that's not necessarily your type of riding, this is a very big chainstay and it's gonna feel really weird to you. The head tube angle is 75 degrees, which is about normal, and the standover height is question mark. We don't actually know what the standover height is yet, but I'm gonna guess it's right around 9 inches. This is something that it's really just personal preference, but the standover height, if you have a really tall standover height, it could make grabbing the seat easier for toboggans or pinching the seat when you throw bar spins. It has some perks, but not many. Mostly, it's just a personal preference thing. Now, the Dougsterbob scores. This is a scoring system that I created to rank all the bikes out there for how good they are in street, park, dirt, how good their quality is, and everything like that. If you want this score sheet, you can compare over 80 different bikes to one another. You can sort them by how good they are in street or how good they are in dirt and find literally the perfect bike. The link is in the description. Just put in your email address. I'll send you the link and you can check it out. I just updated this sheet, so it's always updated and you'll always get the updated version. So do that, but anyway, let's talk about the Devotion scores. In street, it scored a 4. This is not a great street score, and it could have done better if it came with a free coaster, if it had more pegs, more hub guards, but it's not super street specific out of the box. You can always make the upgrades for street, but it doesn't come that way, and that's why it only scored a 4. In park, though, it did really bad. It scored a 1.67. We're gonna round this up to a 2. This is not a park specific bike, mostly because of that really big geometry that we were talking about in the frame. That's gonna make technical park riding pretty hard to do. And yeah, you can't even put a gyro on it. It has this hourglass head tube angle, or head tube, so the head tube's hourglass shape. There's no holes drilled for a gyro, and it'd just be a pain to put a gyro on it and be really technical with park riding. So that's why it only scored a 2. In dirt, it scored a 4.33. We're gonna round this down to a 4. This isn't a dirt specific bike, but if you were someone who liked to ride street and you like to ride dirt, this is a solid option. It's got that big geometry, so it's gonna feel stable, it's gonna feel controlled at high speeds on the dirt jumps or on the pump track. It has tall 9-inch bars that are gonna feel comfortable when you're riding dirt, and like I said, not dirt specific, but it's not a bad choice if you're a beginner dirt rider. Now the quality score is a 6.25. We're gonna round this down to a 6. Full chromoly frame, forks, bars, double wall rims, a little bit of aftermarket parts. This is a pretty good quality score. Now it's not the best quality score like the We the People Envy or the Sunday Soundwave, but it's a pretty good score, especially considering this bike is just over 550 bucks. You literally can't go wrong. Some similar priced options would be the Sunday X for about $640. The quality of the X isn't even close to the Devotion, and the X doesn't come with pegs. And the Kink Switch is a $599 bike. It does come with pegs, it comes with a free coaster, it comes with 4-piece bars, and it's about the same level of quality for a little bit more money. I've got in-depth reviews on both of those bikes, so before you pull the trigger and make the purchase on the Devotion, I urge you to check out those other 2 reviews and see if you like one of those bikes better than this bike. Now, what are some potential issues that I see with the Devotion? The only issue that I can think of right off the top of my head would be that longer chainstay. Chainstay does affect your riding and affect how the bike feels more than you can imagine. And riding a 13.6-inch chainstay, if you're a smaller person, is going to be really tough for you. So just have that in mind. This is a long chainstay. It has pros, but it also has cons. And the big con to that is not being able to throw the bike around and maneuver it like you probably want to. If you ride something like a 12.75, you can toss that thing around, you can snap spins really aggressively, and you won't be able to do that with this bigger Devotion chainstay. Now, who is the Cult Devotion for? The Cult Devotion is going to be for somebody who's already riding at about a mid-level. It's got that higher quality that can withstand big drops, big gaps, and mid-level tricks, but you have to be a pretty tall rider. I'd say you're anywhere from 6 foot to 6'4", because that 21-inch top tube and that longer chainstay is going to feel really hard to control for smaller riders. So if you're between 6 foot, 6'4", you like riding street and a little bit of dirt, and you have about a $600 budget, the Cult Devotion would be a really good choice for you. But would I actually recommend the Devotion? And the answer is going to be yes. I think this is a really good bike for a really good price. You're getting a good amount of quality, you're getting some pegs, and it's a solid bike. And I'm very, very impressed that the price did not go up very much this year. So good job, Colt, for that one. And I do recommend this bike if you are the right size for it. Now, guys, if you're a smaller rider, I do not recommend this for you. Even though it's cool, even though it's Anthony Panza's signature, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot by getting a really small or getting a really tall bike and being a really small rider. It's going to be so hard to control and so hard to progress. Please make sure you get the right size bike. Now, if this is the right size bike for you, I definitely recommend it. And now you're thinking, cool, this is the right size. I'm about to buy this bike. Where should I get it from? I put a link in the description. That link is probably going to go to Dan's Comp because I have a really good relationship with them, and they always charge the best price for the bikes. They're the best price place that I can find online. If you guys find it cheaper somewhere else, let me know so I can help your fellow BMX riders out. But it's usually going to be Dan's Comp, and that's where that link is going to send you. So check the price from them and then let me know if it's a good price. Now, if you guys decided the Devotion isn't for you and you're not going to buy it from Dan's Comp, then I'm going to tell you a secret. I have a free BMX bike recommendation that you can fill out. You put in your height, your budget, your skill level, what type of riding you like to do. I'll look at all that information and I'll make a PDF with 3 bikes that I think are perfect for you, and then I will send it your way. Will the Devotion be on there? I don't know. You're going to have to wait and find out. I'll have to look at the information and then I'll send it over to you and we'll see which bikes are right for you. That link is also in the description. Make sure you do that because this has helped over 2,000 people find a BMX bike. And it's so cool that I'm able to do that and help everyone out. I love to get you guys in the sport. So with that being said, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the Cult Devotion and which bike I should review next. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being a part of the Dougsterbob community. And if you heart BMX, make sure you grab the t-shirt from the link in the description. This is one of my special tees and it's available on my shop. So have a good rest of your day. Peace.